9/11 changed our country almost immediately. America felt the need for greater protection, leading to the creation of an entire department, Homeland Security. Money flowed to local police departments as well, bringing with it increased military equipment, training, and expertise. While the goal was increased security and safety, some say it's had the opposite effect.
It's an armored truck that we have for deputy protection.
The Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office got this mine-resistant ambush protection vehicle, or MRAP, courtesy of the Pentagon through the 1033 program run by the Department of Defense.
It's fully armored all the way around, so this can get deputies close to the threat and without risking their lives.
The 1033 program provides surplus military equipment, like this $800,000 vehicle, to local enforcement agencies for free.
There's no way we could have afforded to buy this if we had to pay for it.
And critics say it's the kind of equipment that's helped transform local police and sheriff's departments into a militarized force. This simmering concern reached a fever pitch during demonstrations following the 2014 police-involved shooting death of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Fast forward to 2020, with its widespread protests and resulting violence, some say the response from police was no less militaristic.
Those are things maybe we should think through.
Jim Birch is president of the National Police Foundation.
In the past, this program has provided police agencies with military equipment that I think some might consider to be offensive. And I don't say offensive as in I'm offended. I say offensive in the sense that it's used for offensive purposes as opposed to defensive.
It strikes people that these militarized encounters mainly occur in Black and Brown communities, and that this is an unfair use of police force.
Brown University's Catherine Lutz leads a project researching the cost of almost 20 years of war since 9/11. Her team found that part of that cost is a negative effect on policing in the name of securing our streets.
As the war is wound down in Iraq and Afghanistan, that equipment was no longer needed there, but it was as a result of that heavy amount of spending that suddenly all of this equipment, tremendous amounts of equipment, became available to police departments. The military vehicles have eroded the public confidence that the police are there to protect them, as opposed to protect themselves.
Consider these numbers from the university's research. Before 9/11, $27 million in military material went to local law enforcement. After 9/11, that number catapulted by nearly 6,000% to $1.6 billion.
And I think that it's much about nothing.
Virginia Beach Sheriff Ken Stoley says protecting his deputies is high priority.
My position is, as long as police officers and law enforcement officers continue to get shot at and killed, I'm going to try and provide them the best protection I can provide them to do their jobs.
Still, according to the Brown research, 48 officers died at the hands of the public in 2019, while 1,016 citizens died at the hands of the police.
The notion that the police need to be protected from the population is belied by those numbers.
The items coming from the DOD are not all offensive. The Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office has also gotten cargo trucks, passenger vehicles, generators, storage units. And then there's this. In military terms, it's called an assault pack. In civilian terms, a backpack. It's where sheriff's deputies can keep their equipment when they're out in the field.
We just completed an analysis of the last 12 months of data from that program, and it looks like most of what's being provided today are things like boots, goggles, gloves, face masks to deal with the pandemic, clothing items, some backpacks, generators, lawnmowers, those kinds of things that are saving states hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, this does not mean that agencies are no longer receiving all-terrain vehicles or mine-resistant vehicles or even assault vehicles and sometimes rifles.
We've not tried to get any M16s or fully automatic weapons or bazookas or anything like that. I think that's crazy.
Researchers say there's incentive, if not pressure, for departments to use what they receive, because if they don't use it within a year's time, they have to return it.
Every single thing down to a paperclip, if we want. We have to provide a justification how it's going to fulfill our law enforcement community support mission.
Researchers at Brown say police militarization is not just about equipment, but also about how much surveillance occurs in American communities, surveillance that did not happen before 9/11. And while police officials may say that it's kept Americans safer, their study has found no evidence of that. Eric Phillips, CBN News.